They love people, they love children particularly, and they will actually get on with any creature which will get on with them. Often people may have a very old cat who is really crotchety with the entire world. Well, a Vizsla puppy blessed believes the whole world wants to play with it and it will just keep on coming. Well, they want to please you, they want to work with you, and they're a very biddable dog. It's a word in gun dogs is used a lot, but it really means we just want to cooperate and do all we can to please you. That's a Vizsla temperament. Obviously, Hungarian Vizsla comes from Hungary. The Vizsla part is very simple. Essentially, it's pointer. So if you think of Hungarian pointer, and in Hungary they're very often referred to as the yellow dog or yellow hound.
A stunning looking dog. It's a gun dog. It belongs to the HPR group, which stands for Hunt, Point and Retrieve. So this is a working dog. It may look like a fabulous pet, it may not necessarily make a fabulous pet if you do not meet its gun dog needs.
They are very loyal, very friendly dogs, but can be a little bit reserved from time to time with strangers and do like a job of work to do. But they are an active dog and will fit in very well as part of the family.
Beautiful dogs, beautiful colour, very high energy dogs. We would look to rehome them with a very active family who have plenty of time and energy to keep up with them. They'd certainly keep your family fit.
They're very sensitive. They're known as the Velcro Vizslas. They just love to be touching you. So when they're tired, they're fabulous to touch and to cuddle to, but you've got to give them enough mental and physical stimulation. So you need to join a club that does gun dog type activities to really get that nose going.
If you can't give the dog an hour or so's exercise, good open exercise, then do think hard about it. This is a dog that if you can find it through the day, you're going to have some damage done. It's idle hands basically, and they will find a level of mischief to get into.
High energy dog, and if it doesn't get enough mental and physical stimulation, it will chew.
They're a beautiful dog, but they're not necessarily for everybody. They're a very bouncy dog, and the Vizsla doesn't change, bless. What it is as a 14-week-old puppy is probably going to be the same when it's 14 years old. It remains a puppy nearly all of its life. Very, very playful, loves people, loves children, and we also say to people, be very careful with toddlers, because a Vizsla loves children, but it will knock toddlers over when they're playing with them. The only difference I would say with the wire, there's a greater sensitivity sometimes. If you think of the wire-haired Vizsla as sort of 60 to 70% temperament, exactly the same, but without that great energy bubbling through all the time, that's essentially the difference. The wire coat was bred for harsher conditions. Well, the downside of that is the wires like to go out in any weather. Wetter, the colder, the better. The smooth coat doesn't need a lot of work at all. If we tend to use a soft glove or a hand glove 2 or 3 times a week, just working through the coat, it's almost a thick massage more than anything else. The wire coat is obviously that much more dense and longer. And what you tend to do with that is either a deep brush, a curry comb, or just light combing. You just work through the bearding, the feathering, etc. Just take the mud off it. The only thing to watch out for from a more of a health point of view with the coat is the dog, particularly the wire, is growing hair on its feet all the time. And if it's going through lots of mud, you need to get that out. Often as not, you can soak it out, but sometimes you have to get in there and just break it up or cut it out. Leave it in there, you'll have sore feet. From a health point of view, there aren't a lot of problems. One of the reasons is these are both relatively young breeds which have not been exploited. So we haven't got hip dysplasia problems, we haven't got shoulder problems, etc. If you go to the right people who've got a background in the breeds, you shouldn't have any difficulties at all. So you haven't got any long-term hereditary difficulties in any. The only problem we ever had in Vizslas, and we're going back probably 20, 30 years, there was a hint of epilepsy at one point, but fortunately, and it's a measure of the people that have these dogs, the people stood up and said, our bloodlines have got it, make sure you don't use them. And that's one of the joys of a relatively small breed. People talk to each other and they protect the breed as a consequence.